How's everyone doing? I'm Joe with Ohio Wood Burner. Welcome back to the channel. We have another busy day, and I just got done making a trailer load of firewood. This took me an hour with the Yappa. These were kind of bigger logs, but they've come through the 8-way really nice. Got a few bigger, but they don't need resplit. I backed the trailer up to the wood pile, and I have one of my guys is going to come out and stack this. We have a delivery that we're making today. We're going into Youngstown to a barbecue place that's downtown, right on Federal Street. And I am serious when I say this. This restaurant is awesome. I really think that the owner of this barbecue joint, it's called Space Cat Barbecue. I really think he's going to be famous one day. You guys are in for a treat. You know, the city of Youngstown has opened their arms to a lot of these businesses downtown. That Federal Street has been growing, and there's a lot of restaurants on it, and they have allowed Space Cat to set up their smokers in the parking lot, and it's just a really neat environment and a really neat situation. I hope you guys enjoy the ride there. On the menu today is seasoned cherry. It's split small. Guys, I made this probably over a year ago. This wood was part of my windbreak that I have up against the barn that keeps us warm and dry in the wintertime when we're loading. So this stuff has been under a roof. It's dry as can be, and he uses an offset smoker. So let's load up and let's hit the road. This is one of two restaurants that I have in the city. Really all my accounts, residential, are all suburbs, and all of our restaurants are in these mall area type places. This is in the city. Youngstown is not a big city like Cleveland or Columbus, but it's a city nonetheless. It's got a lot of alleys and tight roads, and really I think that's where having a smaller truck helps, because there are some tight spots. I couldn't deliver a cord down here. I wouldn't be able to get my trailer into some of these areas. Downtown Youngstown has been in a renaissance. It's coming back, and there's been a lot of restaurants that's opened, and what's cool about it, it is right on the edge of the campus here of Youngstown State University. And Youngstown State is just a gorgeous university, and it's got a really big student housing population, and those students all go to the bars in the evening. Well, before the apocalypse hit, of course, but it has a big following, and it's got a younger vibe to it, and these restaurants are happening in the evenings, and the Space Cat Barbecue has really gotten a cult following around here. Youngstown has a reputation. It's been a tough city for a while. It's had a lot of struggles. The steel mills closed in the 70s, early 80s, and a lot of people feel that it has never really recovered from that. It's making a comeback. It's being driven by Youngstown State. There is a new focus on bringing these businesses back downtown, and it's been working. The downtown's been thriving. There's a lot of construction going on. A lot of these vacant buildings are putting in apartments into them. We are here, and this is a covered area that he made. He keeps his smokers here. He's got 2 smokers. Part of my responsibility is I will clean up the area, keep everything nice and tidy. It's just part of the service that I provide. And what we're going to do now is just get all this wood stacked. When I decided to start selling firewood, I never even thought about restaurants. It just wasn't on my radar screen. I was just thinking residential, maybe I would get into bundles, but really one of the first phone calls I got was from a restaurant, and I almost told them no because I didn't have enough supply for the volume that they wanted. But I had this little voice inside my head. Have you ever heard this saying, when opportunity is knocking, open the door? And I went ahead and told them yes. They go through 1 cord every 11 days. And I had, I think, 6 cords to my name at the time. And he asked if I could keep up with the volume, and I said yes, even though I couldn't. But I had a tiger by the tail for about 6 months. I went out and I bought every cord of firewood I could possibly find. I was re-splitting everything, stacking it, getting it to dry out. I remember there were times when I had it in my garage with a fan blowing on it just to help it dry before I'd take it down to the restaurant because I needed it seasoned. And that was, 3 years ago when I first started doing that, and look how far I've come. I really do think, had I not said yes to that one restaurant, I don't think I would be here right now, because it got me started. It gave me a goal to shoot for. I had a task. I had to supply them with firewood. They were paying me very good per cord, and my bank account started building up, and I was able to start buying more equipment and starting to increase my volume like that. And the big one was, and I think this is a rule for restaurants, if you have one restaurant, it's not going to be your only one, because I learned that all of these restaurants that cook with firewood, they all talk. And the moment that I landed this one restaurant, I was up to 2, 3, 4, and now I'm up to 13. We have been very slow since the 4th of July. Our phones just quit ringing. I even called it a couple times just to make sure it still rings. And I wanted to take that time without any deliveries to get caught up on production and making firewood. But it's just been so hot, and I can't work all day in the heat. So on days when I could make a full cord, I was probably making a half at the most, and even that was a struggle. This last week, when I went 2 weeks without a single order, it seemed. Now I did have a couple restaurants though, but I'm talking about residential deliveries. The next thing I know, I had 5 calls in a row, bam, 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 bam. So I got a real busy week. Maybe that's just the way. I guess any industry's like that. It's got its peaks and valleys. And certainly in firewood, your busy time for residential is once the October hits and the weather starts to change. But as another benefit of restaurants is, it's income for the entire year. Their sales don't have as much fluctuation, so there's always a need for restaurant grade firewood. saying the most important piece of equipment I have is that super splitter, but I think that a case can be made for this $30 unloader from Harbor Freight. This has made deliveries so much easier. And I think it's better for the customer too, because it keeps all the crud off the ground. It's nice working under the roof here. We're staying out of the sun. It's hot and I'm really working up a sweat. So this is a half cord of cherry, and this is just dynamite firewood. It has been seasoned. This is over a year old because I know it's been part of that wall against our barn. It's been under a roof and it's just dry and ready to go. This guy likes seasoned firewood. And I guess there's the debate, some people prefer a little bit green, some people like it fully seasoned, and he believes strongly about seasoned firewood, and that's what I bring him. I think firewood is one of the best teachers out there. It's always instructing you on how to do your job better, how to do it easier, how to become better at delivering it. And really, the restaurants have made me the firewood delivery service we are today. I didn't obviously start out this way. It took a lot of work, trial and error, and fixing problems, because restaurants want seasoned firewood and they need it to burn now. And I'll admit, there were times when I delivered firewood thinking to myself, if this will be a miracle if this stuff burns. But I started figuring it out. I developed a process so that I always have seasoned firewood, and I think sorting by species helps me out too, because now when a restaurant like this guy wants firewood and he only wants cherry, I'm ready to go, because all my cherry is separated back at the wood yard, and it makes things so much easier. When I sell mixed firewoods, I mix it when I'm loading the truck. I keep everything separated. I keep my cherry, oak, ash, all to itself. I will stack my maple in with the beech, like these lighter hardwoods, but when I deliver mixed hardwoods, they're mixed when we load the truck. So that is our delivery for the day. I have 2 more restaurants that we're going to be delivering to tomorrow. I'm going to go home and cool off, and then later in the evening I'm going to get the truck loaded up for its delivery tomorrow morning, and then we'll be doing the exact same thing. I'll have another delivery going out in the evening. Thanks a lot for coming on the ride with us. We've been having a lot of fun making these videos, and there's so much more that we want to show you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. If you deliver firewood to restaurants, leave your comments down below and let us know what you're experiencing with your deliveries. Remember, we post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I hope everyone has a great day.